Personal finance is exactly that. It's personal and unique to your situation. So, the last thing we all need is a traditional money expert insisting that we follow the same old rigid rules that just don't work for us. Whether you're just starting to manage your money, regardless of your age, or want to hear another perspective on a money topic you already feel good about, this Latina covers it all. Welcome to the Check Your Money podcast with Norma Vargas, where this season I encourage you to be limitless. Hi, and welcome back to Check Your Money with your host, Norma Vargas. If you've been keeping up with the personal finance community, you may have heard of FIRE. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. It's another fit in this box thinking. Here's how I describe FIRE. FIRE is a choice between the today you and the future you. It's become pretty popular in people between the ages of like 20 and 40. And the concept is that you save up to about 50 to 70% of your income in order to reach 25 times your annual expenses. After you retire, you pull about 4% of that a year to live on. Now, the reason I emphasize the word retire the way I did is that financial independence means that you're able to live basically independently and not have to worry so much about your finances. So, retire in the historical sense has always meant you stop working and you just kind of chill out. When you're talking about financial independence, retiring early, it's not necessarily not working at all, but maybe being able to focus on passion and not worry so much about getting in that salary because you're living financially independent. Now, how is this saving happening? Well, there are a lot of ways, but the perception is that you cut everything extra out of your life. Now, extra is a loose term. It could be going out to eat, not buying stuff you don't necessarily need, reducing utility costs as much as possible, and stuff like that. So you sacrifice now and you get to have fun with that money later and not necessarily have to work. And so that's why I said the today you and the future you. As a blogger had put it that I read, it said, as we watch our net worth climb higher and higher, we realize that our happiness level seemed to be in a free fall. And so that's the choice that you really need to make. Is this worth all the sacrifice now to be happy later? And again, the answer might be yes. So it's really up to you. It's a personal decision that you need to make. Personally, I like to channel surf. As much as I enjoy a good series, I don't like getting stuck watching 50 episodes of something just to finish it before I move on to something else. I like a good sitcom or a cop show or whatever, and I watch that one and I move on to something else. So personally, I don't want to cut cable. And I think I've said that before, but I don't want to have to cut cable. It's one of the things that I want to keep, and someone in the FIRE community may consider that an extra, something that is not necessary. So you keep your eye on the prize, I guess, but you're also depriving yourself. And again, this is my opinion. It's imperative that Latinos start investing at an early age so they can enjoy financial stability and flexibility when they are ready to retire. I agree with that. But here's what I'm going to say. I want to create my own box, and it's going to be called FOMO Fire. I don't want to miss out on my now life to create the life that I want 20 years from now. I believe I can have a balanced lifestyle where I'm not going crazy with money now so that when I'm 50 or whatever, I can figure out what my side hustle is going to be and I can live a relaxed life then as well. I can balance out my today Norma with my later Norma, and so can you if that's what you want. So the stats. Well, my mind-blowing stats is that I have no stats. I couldn't find anything related to Latinos and FIRE. We could sit here and talk about why that is. I'll give you my idea. And my idea is, again, we don't want to deprive ourselves now for something that we're going to prepare ourselves for 20 years from now. And that's not to say that you shouldn't be investing in retirement, because of course we should all be preparing for retirement. But the conception on FIRE is that it is an extreme deprivation. And that's really what I'm talking about, this extreme deprivation. Is it worth it? FIRE, the way I think of it, is like not eating until Thanksgiving dinner is served. Now, think about how your stomach is grumbling all Thursday morning while you're waiting for that turkey to be done at 2 or 3 o'clock. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. That's how I feel like FIRE is. So you're on this financial diet, saving your calories so you can enjoy your meal, retirement, later. But this can be some serious starvation. For example, some FIRE leaders recommend 50 to 70% save rate until you have the 25 years of living expenses. Once you've done this, you withdraw no more than 4% of your portfolio. That would be your savings, retirement funds, stock market investments, and so on. The motivation is that you're getting it over with. And by it, I mean the grind. Maybe you're not feeling fulfilled. You're not necessarily connected to your job. You're already feeling burnt out, and you see FIRE as a way out. As a matter of fact, a Harris poll found in 2018 that Google searches for financial independence, retire early rose 96% in 5 years. Do you guys hear that? That is insane. It's insane. So people are definitely feeling this grind and the need to just get it over with. But again, like I said before, financial independence and freedom doesn't mean no more work. So it is just that freedom to be, well, free. So there's a few different ways to do this FIRE thing. There's regular FIRE. And regular FIRE is, again, you accumulate your income where it pays enough money to cover your living expenses. You're being somewhat aggressive. And once you reach financial independence, you don't rely on a paycheck from a job anymore. Simple, right? Well, you've got lean FIRE. Now, lean FIRE is when you're on a much tighter budget. So you're basically going to live on much less than you typically would, or that the average person would. You're going to be sort of minimalist. You're going to be frugal. And you're going to be a master at managing your expenses. You're going to keep your costs down. You're going to simplify your life. And people that are interested in lean FIRE basically live under about $40,000 a year. That's how much they're going to use per year. And that's according to the Reddit community for lean FIRE. Fat FIRE. Well, fat FIRE, the way I think of it, it's the rich people FIRE. So if lean FIRE is you only spend about $40,000, fat FIRE is you need way more than that, more than double. So you're doing the same thing, but you're saving more because you don't want to live so frugally later on. $40,000 is not going to be enough for you, and you want to do more things, and so you want to save more. So that's going to be fat FIRE. Then you've got barista FIRE, and it's sort of what it sounds like. So for you Starbucks drinkers, barista is the coffee maker person, right? And barista FIRE is you're saving up enough money, but you're also intending to have a little bit of income once you retire. So a part-time job, i.e., a barista. I don't know if you've heard about Anchor, but it is seriously the easiest way to make a podcast. The very best part about it is that it's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, your computer, or your tablet. I was able to easily set up my podcast right from my iPad. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it could be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and many more. And last but not least, you can actually make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And because you're able to get sponsors right from your site, it just makes it so much easier. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, which makes it so easy for anyone to use. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. The concept of FIRE is almost foundational. Save early, take advantage of compounding, live within your means, budget, don't waste your money on stuff you don't need, but do it fast and get it over with so you could chill. My only concern is the mental health aspect. So I guess I'd say I like the concept of FIRE, but I'm not going crazy doing it. So that's something between regular FIRE and my FOMO FIRE. I hope I've been able to shed a little light on what FIRE is. And if you're interested, there are some groups on Facebook as well as Instagram. And there are plenty of articles online that you can find on the topic if you're interested in pursuing FIRE. Personally, I don't feel like I want to lose my mind trying to save 25 years worth of my expenses. So while I'll definitely be cautious about my money as I have been, and I am definitely planning for retirement and saving for retirement and watching that money grow, I certainly am not going to sacrifice the today Norma for the later Norma. I'm just not going to do it. Not to that extent. It sounds a little too intense for me. And again, not interested. But if you are, that's great. I support that. I personally feel that between being a real estate agent, a money coach, this podcast, I feel like I am living my passions. And I can do that while still enjoying the today Norma. Check your knowledge. If you're an iPhone user and you're not on Clubhouse, you're missing out. I cannot possibly tell you how obsessed I am with Clubhouse, to the extent that I actually had to turn off the notifications because I found myself being on it for hours. What is Clubhouse? It's an app that I can't even begin to explain all the great things about it, but I'm going to try. So think about it as a chat room back in the day when you used to just sit on the computer and chat, except you're doing it live. And you're able to collaborate and you're able to just have conversations with people across the country and across the world. If you're in a particular segment, say real estate or marketing or you're a lawyer, whatever your area is, you will find a room where you can have discussions, where you can grow your business, where you can just grow your knowledge, where you can just expand on your thinking about culture, your culture, other people's culture. You can learn about money. You can learn about marketing. You can learn about anything you could think of, parenting, anything you can think of. There's a room for it. And if there isn't a room, you can create a room. So I encourage you to check out Clubhouse. If you don't have an invite, you need one, please reach out to me. I have a few and I will certainly let you in and you just open the door to this amazing, amazing resource. Again, I am obsessed, to say the least, with Clubhouse. I've met so many people on there already. This week alone, I had 3 long conversations with people outside of Clubhouse because we just connected during a chat in there. And please, 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 anything you need, you're going to find it there. Check it out. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate your support and welcome your feedback. You can do that by liking, sharing, and rating. I also invite you to check out my website, checkyourmoney.today. You'll find links to my YouTube channel, upcoming blog, and so much more. Don't forget to check your money and be limitless. The information provided in the Check Your Money podcast, associated social media accounts, and website is intended solely for the personal, non-commercial use of the user who accepts full responsibility of its use. While we have taken every precaution to ensure that the content of the aforementioned is both current and accurate, errors can occur. We accept no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content. The information provided by Check Your Money and its affiliated entities is general in nature, provided for educational purposes only, and should not be considered to be legal, tax, accounting, or investing advice. In all cases, you should consult with professional advisors familiar with your personal factual situation for advice concerning specific matters before making any decisions.